With these can-do videos, you'll see real-life situations where you have to introduce yourself, talk about your family, or give your contact information. So, by the end, you can do them yourself in Chinese. This video is a small portion of our can-do course. To get the full course, including translations, grammar tools, and assessment tests, click the link in the description. Welcome to Can Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yinru Li. In this lesson, you will learn essential Chinese social expressions such as thank you.
This is Ben Lee, and he's on the train. A fellow passenger drops his wallet as he exits the train. Ben picks up the wallet and chases after the man. He calls to the man by saying, "Sir, please, wait a minute."
先生，请等一下。
Listen to the following 3 short dialogues between Ben and the man.
先生，请等一下。
怎么了？
Ben hands the man the wallet.
谢谢你。
不客气。
Ben turns to board the train, but the door's shut.
不好意思。
没事儿。
Once more with the English translation.
先生，请等一下。
Sir, please wait a minute.
怎么了？
What's the matter? Ben hands the man the wallet.
谢谢你。
Thank you.
不客气。
Don't mention it. Ben turns to board the train, but the door's shut.
不好意思。
Sorry.
没事儿。
It's okay. Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Let's take a closer look at these 3 conversations.
First, do you remember how Ben Lee says, "Sir, please wait a minute"?
先生，请等一下。
First is
先生，
Sir or Mr.
先生，先生，
Note, it can be used alone, such as in this case, or as a polite suffix following a name. Next is
请等一下，
Please wait a minute.
请等一下，
This has 3 parts. First is
请，
please.
请，请，
Next is
等，
to wait.
等，等，
Finally,
一下，
meaning something like a bit, as in please wait a bit.
一下，一下，一下，
Is an everyday phrase used with a verb to describe a brief action, and often to soften a command or request. In this sentence,
一下，
follows
等，
to wait. Together,
等一下，
means to wait for a bit, or to wait a minute.
等一下，
Altogether,
先生，请等一下。
Sir, please wait a minute.
先生，请等一下。
Do you remember how the passenger responds by saying, What's the matter?
怎么了？
怎么了？
What's the matter?
怎么了？
Note, this is a set phrase that can translate as, What's the matter? What's wrong? What happened? It's used when you don't know what has happened. In this case, the speaker wants to know why he was called. The second part of the conversation takes place after Ben returns the passenger's wallet. Do you remember how the passenger says, Thank you?
谢谢你。
This expression has two parts. First is,
谢谢，
Thanks, or Thank you.
谢谢，谢谢。
Next is,
你，
You.
你，你，
In most cases,
谢谢，
is enough to express gratitude. By following
谢谢，
with,
你，
it expresses a more personal and heartfelt appreciation in a subtle way. However, the meaning doesn't change. Altogether,
谢谢你，
thank you.
谢谢你。
Do you remember how Ben says, Don't mention it?
不客气。
This expression can be divided into two parts. First is,
不，
meaning not.
不，不，
It is used to negate verbs and adjectives. Pronunciation note. When
不，
is followed by a fourth tone, its tone changes from the fourth tone to the second tone. Listen to the pronunciation again.
不客气，
Next is
客气，
courteous. More specifically, to treat someone with hospitality and formality.
客气，客气，
Together,
不客气，
literally means no need to be courteous, no need for the formalities, but often translates as don't mention it, or you're welcome.
不客气。
不客气，
Is a common response to the phrase,
谢谢。
after the train doors shut and Ben misses his train, do you remember how the passenger apologizes to Ben by saying, sorry?
不好意思。
In this case, the expression is used to apologize for causing Ben inconvenience. Let's start with,
好意思，
literally, good meaning, or good intention. But together it's a phrase meaning to feel no shame.
好意思，
First is,
好，
meaning good.
好，
Next is,
意思，
meaning.
意思，
Before the phrase is,
不，
meaning not.
不，不，
Altogether,
不好意思，
literally, not feel no shame. In other words, ashamed or embarrassed.
不好意思。
The speaker feels ashamed or embarrassed for causing Ben inconvenience. So the phrase means sorry in this case.
不好 意思，不好意思。
Do you remember how Ben replies, "It's okay"?
没事儿，
First is
没
not or have not.
没
Next is
事儿
matter or issue.
事儿
Together,
没事儿
literally means no issues, but it translates as it's okay.
没事儿
没事儿，
没事儿
Is a common response to apologies, but it is sometimes used to respond to thank you as well.
In addition to 不好意思, another commonly used expression to say sorry is 对不起. It consists of 3 characters. 对 to face. 不 not. 起 literally to rise, but to be able to do something in this case. Together, 对不起 means something like unable to face you, but it translates as I'm sorry. 对不起. This is a stronger apology than 不好意思. Use it when you've done something wrong you feel strongly about. 对不起. You can use it as a standalone phrase or together with longer phrases. In addition to 不客气, another common way to respond to thank you is 不用谢. You're welcome. 不用谢. 不用 means no need. 不用. And 谢 to thank. 谢. Together it's 不用谢. Literally, no need to thank, but translates as you're welcome. 不用谢 and 不客气 are interchangeable. It's up to you which one to use. Let's look at the expressions once more. Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. 请等一下. 请等一下. 怎么了? 怎么了? 谢谢你. 谢谢你. 不客气. 不客气. 不好意思. 不好意思. 没事儿. 没事儿. 对不起. 对不起. Did you notice the last expression I used? 对不起.
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
对不起.
Sorry. You learned about this expression in the Cultural Insights section. A common response to this expression is,
没关系
"Don't worry about it."
没关系
First is
没
to not or to not have.
没
Next is
关系
relationship.
关系
Together
没关系
literally means to not have a relationship, but it translates as don't worry about it. in this context.
没关系，
Note, you can also use
没关系，
to respond to someone's apology. You should be aware of this commonly used phrase, but you won't need it for this lesson.
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then, repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say please? 请 And how to say wait? 等 Do you remember how Ben says, "Please wait a minute"?
请等一下。
请等一下 And how the passenger says, "What's the matter?"
怎么了？
怎么了 Do you remember how the passenger says, "Thank you"?
谢谢你。
谢谢你 Do you remember how to say, "Don't mention it"? 不客气不客气 Do you remember how the passenger says, "Sorry"?
不好意思。
不好意思 Do you remember how Ben says, "It's okay"?
没事儿。
没事儿
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen Lee, and you receive a popular Chinese candy from your Chinese teacher, Lin Li. Say thank you. Ready?
谢谢你。不客气。
Listen again and repeat.
谢谢你。谢谢你。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mark Lee. A passenger bumps into you. Respond by saying, "It's okay." Ready?
不好意思。
没事儿。
Listen again and repeat.
没事儿。没事儿。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you see a man drop his wallet. Politely ask him to wait a minute. Ready?
请等一下。
怎么了？
Listen again and repeat.
请等一下。请等一下。
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to use essential social expressions in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.